Hi everyone, today I'm going to share some of my conclusions about future UFO movement, future UFO disclosure. So in the past few years, many countries they have done their effort to disclose UFO and alien existence on this planet. In future, this movement is going to continue. However, I want to mention that there are two parallel lines that is happening at the same time. I think Dr. Michael Sala has covered this very well. He mentioned like two words. One is called something like a slow official disclosure. Is not this word he was using, but basically that's what he meant. So one type of disclosure is the official disclosure, which is done step by step in a very organized, controlled way. And the second disclosure is a catastrophic disclosure, which may involve some sudden event. So today I'm going to talk about the second type specifically because I have this feeling that something big is going to happen very soon. It's probably this month or probably next year. I don't know. It could be related to Three Eye Atlas because Three Eye Atlas must be here for a reason, or it could be something else, something like a major UFO sighting for a major area or like a vast population of the whole Earth. Like it could be like the whole Earth can see something. So basically what I'm saying that based on my experience in the past, the majority of population on this planet are not so awakened. They are easily manipulated by mainstream media. It's not going to change. They're not going to change very quickly. They are not going to change overnight. So it's the reality we have to face. As someone who has a mission to change the reality on this planet, we have to face that reality. So these people their awakening is very, very crucial. So if just a small group of people like UFO enthusiasts who are awakened to the reality is not gonna change the reality of this planet. We need the majority of population to achieve a certain level of awakening, and then in that way these planets can be totally changed and the UFO disclosure can really happen. So what I'm thinking is that catastrophic disclosure is like a backup plan to the traditional like government-led disclosure. I know that United States and other countries they have done a lot in the past to push forward this movement. So catastrophic disclosure is not going to deny their efforts. What I believe is that these two types of disclosure are going to happen simultaneously or at the same time. They are going to happen or they are being pushed forward at the same time to awaken people. So first of all, the traditional way of disclosure, which is led by the government or by different governments in this world, is going to help more people to awaken because people still believe in governments on this planet. People still believe mainstream media and official stories of this planets on this planet. For example, the recently released documentary, I think it's called Cosmic Disclosure, something like that. Many famous major people or experts in this arena and also in different fields, they showed up in this documentary, such as prominent political figures from the White House, or some lawyers, some soldiers, and so on. You can understand what I'm saying. Lots of people with credibility, they came forward on this documentary to tell people that this story is credible. The UFO thing is so real and it's going to happen very quickly. And that documentary got translated in China on certain social medias, and I watched that video and was like very impressed that that got translated so quickly, because a lot of people in China they couldn't get access to videos outside our country. So that's the only way they can watch certain videos. I will go to the official website to buy videos, but most of them they can't access this video. The only way they can access the documentary is by like social media in China. So my point is the documentary is very helpful. Things like that or any kind of information disclosure done by government is still very helpful. And I encourage everyone from different countries, especially official governments, to do something about it, to disclose more information, because the public still trust you. The public still trust the government and trust that people who are in power really care about the general public, really care about people's well-being. So whatever the government says, it is true, and people will start to believe that. And it's going to help as well. But for catastrophic disclosure, why it is necessary? My point is that based on my previous observation, including my own experience. I feel that the majority of people on this planet are not so awakening. It's going to be really, really hard to awaken, even if the national TV news are saying that, okay, the aliens are here, it's real, and we just discover some alien bodies in a crash. However, lots of people will think, okay, it's not so related to my daily life. Why should I care? I have to work and pay my bills, and that they're just so trapped in their daily lives. It's not going to change their mentality overnight. And well, because many people, they're not so awakened. Even if the government is talking about that all day, in the news or on the TV, these people, they're not just gonna awaken immediately. They think it's a hoax. Okay, for example, in China, some people are awakening because of the documentary, cosmic disclosure and all the other official disclosure. Yes, they are the first batch to awaken due to official disclosure. Oh, wait, I said it wrong. It's called The Age of Disclosure. It's not cosmic disclosure. The documentary is called The Age of Disclosure. If you haven't watched that, please find the documentary and watch it. It's very, very well made and very good one. But there are still some other people. They will question this. They will say, okay, is there something wrong with United States government? Is the U.S. government trying to create this story because the China threat is not gonna work easily? So they created another story, like an alien threat story, to get more funding, get more taxpayers' money to do something evil. So there will be lots of people talking like that. They will think that it's a story made up by the United States government. So we have to really take that into consideration. And what I believe is that in the next 2 months, next several months or up to 2 years, there's definitely going to be some major sightings of UFO. It could be Three-Eye Atlas or something strange done by Three-Eye Atlas or something else. I don't know. But anyway, catastrophic disclosure, it's not just a backup plan. It's a plan based on the nature of human beings, based on maybe God's knowledge about humans, and based on the situation on this planet. Because most people are still not so awakened, they are just not easily awakened. Because general public still believes in the government, so whatever the official government says, it is going to change their opinion, or at least it's going to get them thinking that, okay, this thing is real, it's not just some conspiracy theories. But the thing is, there are still some people, like my parents, who are not so awakened. Even if I send them videos or the documentary about UFO disclosure released by some official governments, they still don't believe that. Or even if they believe that, they are going to ask, okay, what does it have to do with me? There's nothing I can do. They just don't care. They believe because they don't think that is going to be related to their life. I know that people will say, yeah, when UFO disclosure happens, we don't need to pay the electricity bills anymore. But the thing is, my parents will say, okay, it's not something that I can push forward. They don't think they have this power or free will to change anything. That's why they don't care. They are still caught up in their daily lives. They have to, go to work, busy working every day, pay their bills, and just, get a life and get many times my parents told me that don't put too much time and effort into this disclosure thing because it's not going to help your life. I know they totally missed the point because, this disclosure thing can totally change my life, right? There are lots of jobs. You have to understand that when the disclosure thing happened, my job is gone. There's no need for translator or anymore because these aliens, they communicate telepathically. So lots of jobs are just disappear on this planet. It may not necessarily happen overnight, but it may gradually and very quickly will happen. So that's going to change everything on this planet. The way we live, the way we work, the way our financial system, energy system, everything. But the thing is, lots of people, they just feel they are so powerless. They just think they are just normal persons, can't do anything. And the only thing you can do is just to live and just adapt to the rules on this planet, live as much, try your best to live a good life and then die. It may happen, these people will think that, okay, disclosure may happen, aliens may be real, but I have nothing to do with it. Only the government can push forward that. There's nothing I can do to push forward that, and also it's not going to benefit me. So that's their mentality. And that is why I think a catastrophic disclosure is very necessary. So from my understanding, catastrophic disclosure is not just one big event. It's not just one. There are multiple events that could happen that are related to the catastrophic disclosure. First of all, it's very necessary because, this traditional way of disclosure, it is helpful, but it's not going to change like many people's perception at this one time. So a major UFO sighting, it's going to change everything quickly overnight. For example, if a nation or if half of a nation's population see a major UFO, see a very big UFO hovering in the sky, and they can finally believe that, because that is a life-changing event. I have been through similar things like that before. When I was like in high school, I saw like a UFO in the sky. That definitely changed something in me, and that's why I believed UFO like even years before I awakened. So a major UFO sighting is very, very essential. Okay, the second thing I want to mention is that the disclosure plan, especially the catastrophic disclosure, is very, very important when it comes to like timing, right? Because sometimes I use analogy, I compare alien beings visiting our planet and bringing about the disclosure as a doctor treating a patient. So Earth is the patient in this case, and all these aliens, they are the angels, they are the doctor. And so when a doctor is treating a patient, the doctor has to be skilled enough. If the doctor cut a very wide, big open wound, so if doctor operates violently, then the patient is gone, the patient is dead. So if the catastrophic disclosure happens too quickly and too violently, there might be social disorders, right? So it has to be done very carefully. And if the disclosure happens too slowly, we might miss the window opportunity time frame. But I do have trust in God. I'm not Christian, but I do believe like the universe has a God. God is not a person. God is a universal law that governs everything. In scientific terms, it can be called something like the origin of the universe. It could be like the Big Bang of the universe. I don't know, but there's definitely some intelligent design in the universe that governs everything. And also, I believe all these the good friendly teams up in the sky. Over the years in my life, I learned to trust their plan and God's plan, because I was sent to different places and meeting different people for no reason. I didn't quite understand the reason, but years later I found out about the reason. It turned out that every time I was sent to some places and meeting some people, there was a reason for that. I only found out about the truth years later. I kind of have my doubt at the very beginning, or in my early awakening years. But now I do not have any doubt. I have trust in God's plan. I have trust in the plan made by the friendly alien friends up in the sky, even though I don't really know them in person. Okay, so that's my conclusion based on my own personal experience. So I do believe that there's a plan for it. I don't know the details of the plan, but I know that God's plan works in mysterious ways. And I have lot of stories to share in that aspect. God does work in a mysterious way. So I believe the catastrophic disclosure, if it happens, or if many of that happen, they will happen in a very meticulously planned way, so that people on this planet will awaken. The majority of people will awaken, but it will not cause any social disorder or unrest on this planet. I think there will definitely be some like a painful awakening process, because everyone has to go through that. I have been through that as well, but it will be manageable. That's what I believe. Okay, that's all for today's sharing. In future, I'm going to share more about my personal stories, as well as China's work in this regard. China has done a lot of things in UFO disclosure. It's not so widely known by people, but I'm definitely seeing some improvements and some work done by our government. Okay, see you in future. Bye.